created a slight hump the other side. So the soil has been moved, but it hasn't been removed.
But I think the feedback is we haven't been involved in it.
Okay. We do know, but that's as much as we sort of want to get involved because we're.
Okay. Footpaths. Is there
Thank
anything?
you.
That's not a problem.
I'm sorry.
No problem.
I'll add that to the agenda for future reference.
Footpaths. Any reports back?
No, they're pretty dry. The only thing is the handrail on the lower part of the first tier of the path is broken.
Right.
I don't know if you know that. Where he's done the top part, but unfortunately the bottom part's now gone.
Right.
Just above the.
So on the linens field.
Yeah.
That was on the list at one stage. Well, on my list.
Well, we did the top part. We did
No,
that.
Yeah.
the behind the list on the lower part as well.
Yeah,
The lower raised.
needs doing. Yeah.
So is this a steep pin sort of thing?
Oh,
Yeah, that would be.
just as a matter of interest, the path that runs along the side of the tanks has been scraped by a small digger with an effort to level it. I'm not quite sure whether it's going to be successful, but the gate, one of the gates has been installed.
Great.
Right.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay.
If we're going to talk to Steve Pinn about replacing the broken fence, do we talk to him about installing the gate that we've got for the bottom of that fence at the same time?
In the
Yeah.
behind the church.
Yeah.
The linens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just as well. Okay, that's
We
fine.
asked him to quote for that as well, so we've got, it's a kissing
Yeah.
gate.
Yeah.
That will be, so you've got kissing gate at the back of the church, then there's the broken stile, which we asked
Yes.
in Somerset to give us the gate, for which they gave us the gate.
Oh,
If we're
the
going to get
gate
that
for the
fence
stile.
done, we might as well get the gate done at the same time.
Yeah.
Replace the stile with a
Yeah.
gate.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Okay,
Okay, right.
all right.
I mean, there's a number of things on the follow-up here, but I imagine a lot of them have been resolved. I mean,
That's right.
or will be covered elsewhere on the agenda.
Okay,
You know, so, yeah.
all right. If there's nothing else on the footpaths, then anything on highways?
I was going to report that there was a hole on the entrance to the car park, but I see that it's been marked now for repair.
I was surprised when I reported it. I didn't think they'd do it because it's not that deep yet, but they've marked it up, so
Potholes are quite active at the moment in Somerset.
They are.
They're out all over the place actually doing potholes, so they're getting the memos.
Just one observation, I was at the shop earlier this week and there's a lot of traffic going past. Lots of vehicles are still mounting the grass just outside the shop in order to get past. And I know there's quite a lot of building work going out there, so there's always cars across the village shop, but I don't know if that's going to end up doing damage to the curb because they are mounting it in order to go past. It's like they only miss the daffodils by a little bit. So
So just keep an eye on it.
yes.
yeah, I guess in future if it does become an issue, we might need some stones so they can't mount up onto the.
We can't do stones because then if they hit the stones, we get done
Oh,
to
okay.
the damage that gets done to them. We might be able to look at some bendy, flexible posts, but it's going to be it's not quite
Okay.
such a.
Like you've got.
Okay. Anything? Yes.
The drains opposite Ollie's are still blocked. And when we get rain, it's pretty floods on the A38.
Yeah. I have had a notification through that they're due to be doing some jetting somewhere in the vicinity of Ollie's.
Yeah.
It's on the roadworks on the map, but
Remind them again.
it wouldn't do any harm to give them a nudge. And just to let you get again a bit of warning, there was all that congestion up there a while ago because they were doing some work in the road. Apparently we've got to go back and do some more work in the road, so it's likely to happen again. So be aware. Okay.
Just one quick question
Charlie.
on the highways. Just one of the emails earlier this month with the letter we got from a local person about the A38 changes. How closely are we monitoring what's going on with the new junction that's going to be the A38 and motorway?
So, state of play with that at the moment is there is still no guarantee it's going to happen.
Okay.
What's called the sort of major route network change, which is what Somerset's working on, they have been bidding to government for funding for it, because it's approximately a £30 million project covering our junction plus bits of work up the A38 as well. Somerset's got through the first 2 rounds. We're now in the final round, which was why they came out and did a bit of consultation locally. That's then being resubmitted, and if they get the go ahead, then it'll go ahead sometime probably 2026 and be 6 months worth of work. If they don't get the go ahead, then because of the building works that are happening in Highbridge and Burnham already, Somerset will have to do something to the junction, but it won't be the full scheme.
Because it's obviously in the new housing estate that's going to be built in Disney as well. So.
New housing estate.
Yeah, I think it was going all the way back to.
2,000 houses.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one out towards Burnham.
Yeah, I thought that was going
Yes.
along and kind of ending up near Edith. I don't know.
No.
Right.
No, it's down near where the doctor's surgery is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
I thought it was going all the way down.
No.
So
Eventually.
that's when we get into the sort of.
please don't say that.
It's interesting though that the land that is up for auction at the moment does say building plots.
It does.
And has that got permission?
No.
No.
It's not even, they've not applied for building plots on there either. But this is, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if something comes forward on there, but I mean, it's not part of the local plan at all yet.
No.
So they are a little bit
Premature.
Potential building plot.
Yeah, I've had a number of phone calls I've had from people saying, we missed the building application going through. And I think, yeah, you haven't, it's just not there.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah. Okay. In which case, if we could go to the Village Green, which is this month. So basically, did inspections during the month. Generally, green's been pretty good. There was a bit of rubbish on there, but not a huge amount, just that needed collecting. The grass has been pretty tidy. The car park has been good. The roundabout, obviously, the concrete is currently exposed, waiting for the new works to happen. There were, and I think there still are, brambles quite close to the slide. Some have been cut off by somebody, still some there. The equipment obviously needs repainting, and we've got an estimate to look at that later. There's also quite a lot of cracking that started, particularly on the safer surface near the climbing frame and the swings, which I think we need to keep an eye on. It does seem to be starting to break up a bit. Generally, that was it on the green. Toilets have been in good condition when I've checked those out. Car park obviously is lacking white lines anymore, and so that's something we'll need to look at in the not too distant future. And then the Hill Lane car park, when I went up there on the occasions, was generally pretty tidy, picked up bits of litter, but nothing too bad. The rubbish bin had been cleared. But one thing again, not probably for now, but within the next 6 to 12 months, is the surface is starting to break up in some places. There are some holes starting to appear. So before it starts getting down to the base, we probably need to be getting someone back to make that back up again. But other than that, it's generally been in pretty good nick.
I went in with the toilet today and that pipe's leaking again
Ah, right, okay.
under that sink, the one closest to here. There's a little puddle underneath it, and I put my hand under it. It's not drip, drip, drip. It's just there it is wet and joints.
Because we did find that Amanda reported earlier that there had been a lot of water on the floor. Somebody at that stage had unscrewed the pipe underneath the sink, and the water just sort of came through. Interestingly enough, we've had the same thing happen to one of the toilets in the parish hall. We found a lot of water on the floor, and it turned out again that the bit in the U-bend had just been unscrewed. Not removed, but just loosened enough so that the water came out.
And somebody may have done that again, but I didn't want to fiddle with it.
No, we'll give it a check, and if there's anything more than that, we'll get someone out to deal with it.
Two things. First of all, I was in the shop the other day and someone came in and gave us compliments on how wonderful our public toilets were and how clean and tidy they are. So came out their way to just say, do we look after them? And so that was very good feedback. The other thing is, when are we getting the signage for the no doors on the green?
I've spoken to Becky today at our area signs, and it's being done as we speak. So we should get them anytime soon.
Fantastic.
And there's two signs, actually, two types of signs. There's one for the actual entrance and gates, and there's one for the actual green in front of the shop. So there's two different signs.
And the last thing is the grass cutting. Have we got a date for when that's going to be? Because obviously it's getting quite long out there, and people are saying, how long is the fence?
Do you mean the front bit?
Yeah, the front bit, sorry.
It's going to have a roller over it, probably this weekend, and then the fence will be up.
If it's just because it's very tender, because it's
Yeah.
a new seed. So if we do it too soon, we'll just rip it up.
Yeah.
And
I was just asked again,
Yeah.
so when is the fence coming down? Thankfully not by dog walkers, just general people.
So basically by this time next month it should be removed.
Oh,
So the first cut
yeah.
probably done by then as well.
I obviously don't have the same impulse that John Harper had, because when I speak to Becky at that area signs, she seems to take an age to come back to me. John used to get done the following day.
that's because he didn't just make one call.
Bit further.
He probably called it for about 5 minutes.
Okay. Anything else on? No? Okay. Staff and audit group.
Staff and audit group we had last week, and that was really just to give the audit group a chance to look through the paperwork, the vouchers that we use, check. At least, I think Colin checked about 12 or 13 payments against the cash book and against the vouchers to see that it all tallied. It's one of those things that when you come to agree later on to sign the audit papers, one of the things it says on there that there's been an internal audit check by members of the council. So that was really to satisfy that particular obligation. So we can sign that with comfort that it has been done. And that was really the main purpose of it. Don't think there was much else we covered, really, was there? It was mostly about checking, really.
That's right.
And okay.
Okay. And the speed mitigation ANPR.
Well, this has become quite a big project, this ANPR. I'm getting data now more regularly from Stuart Nichols, and I am uploading it, but it takes an awful long time, because when you upload the data, I get a list of dates for which the machine has read the data from the vehicles. But I have to redo the whole thing every time I put a date in. I have to redo it and reset it up. It just takes an age. So you may get one vehicle exceeding on a given date, and then 2 the following date, and then 3 the following day, and so on. And they've got to keep on redoing the data. And it takes, even to do, I think about 45 vehicles last week. It took most of the morning to do 45 vehicles. And that's the problem with it. Now, I'm happy to do that because we're in a trial period at the moment. But if it ever got to the stage where it became permanent, we'd have a data input issue. We really would, because we'd have literally hundreds of vehicles.
Is it worth another set of eyes? I know we can't see the actual data, but looking if there's any way that we can automate it to save you a number of time.
I'm hoping that what will happen when we've had the trial and they deemed it to be successful, that they will actually update the software,
Right,
which will mean that I can go in on one session and just list all the vehicles, which I can't do at the moment. But of course they won't do that because we're the only council that are using this ANPR at the moment. So they don't want to invest in the software without, the surety that it's going to continue. And we won't know that until June.
And I know when we spoke a couple of months ago, we spoke about potentially changing the tolerance level. Has that been changed now?
Okay. Yes.
What's the tolerance level now?
We can't
Probably
say.
don't want to say that on camera.
Okay.
But it
Otherwise, they'll all slow down to go past it.
The tolerance level is 20 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that, we should have about 1,000 vehicles.
Apart from Burton Road, when it's 50 for a tractor.
So we'll just carry on doing that. As I say, it'll go on until June now, I think, this trial. So I'll keep on uploading data until June, see where we get to.
I've noticed that, and I have brought this up in the past, that on some of the old, I've forgotten the what were they called? The signs that we've got, Volis, what are they called?
Invoice, yes.
The Volis. The batteries seem to run down very quickly. And I did say to Stuart, if he could let us know the make and type of the battery, we could possibly get them through a place called Radio Spares,
Right.
far cheaper. And I think it would be good just to ask him, because sometimes you see the sign up and it's a red,
Yes.
and nothing's happening,
Yeah.
which means the battery's gone. And how long have we've been using them for 2 years or more, easily. They must be showing signs of degradation, I would have thought. So if you could find out, I'll see if we can get them.
Okay. Good. Okay. Anything else on that? Okay. Buildings shop, whatever there isn't any. Policy introduction there isn't any. So Somerset report and quick update. Again, budget. As you're aware, you'll all have received your council tax bills by now. Somerset